Taurus. Welcome back to Starspoken Oracle. This is episode 10 of your Starspoken weekly reading, and today we are reading for Taurus, for the week of July 8th through July 14th, 2026. You have been working on something for a long time, longer than most people realize, because you don't tend to announce your labor, you just do it. And this week the deck hands you the card of the gardener who finally straightens up, leans on the hoe, and looks at what has actually grown. Not to celebrate yet. To assess. That pause is the whole reading, and the sky this week is built to reward it. Every week I shuffle the deck for all 12 signs and let the cards fall where they need to. And yours this week is quiet, honest, and more powerful than it looks at first glance. Before the reveal, let's look at what the sky is doing, because it shapes exactly how your card wants to be read. The cosmic weather. We are in the deep middle of Mercury retrograde in Cancer, running through July 23rd. The opening week of a retrograde brings the surprises, the delays, the crossed wires, the old names reappearing. But this middle stretch is the review period proper. Whatever keeps circling back in your life right now is not bad luck, it is the retrograde pointing at the exact thing that needs a second look before the month ends. Venus, your ruling planet, Taurus, so pay attention, is now settling into Leo, where she arrived on July 4th. Venus in Leo is warm, generous, and expressive. For you, she moves through the deepest, most home-centered part of your chart, turning your attention toward family, your living space, and emotional security. Mars is still in Gemini, pulling away from last week's electric meeting with Uranus. The jolts of early July are fading into usable momentum, especially around your finances, where Gemini energy has been stirring the pot. And the week closes with its most important event, a new moon in Cancer on Tuesday, July 14th. A new moon is a blank page, and this one lands in your communication sector, new conversations, new ideas, new agreements. For you, the new chapter begins with words. Your card reveal. Taurus, take a breath. This week, the deck has given you the Seven of Pentacles. A farmer stands in his garden, chin resting on his hands atop a long staff, gazing at a bush heavy with 7 golden pentacles. He is not picking them. He is not planting more. He is looking, measuring the harvest against the labor, deciding what deserves another season and what does not. What the Seven of Pentacles means for you. This card is the sacred pause, Taurus, and it could not have arrived at a better suited moment. Mercury retrograde is the sky's review period, and the Seven of Pentacles is the deck's review card. Together they are handing you full permission to do the thing hustle culture never allows: stop producing for a moment and evaluate. Here is the honest question the card asks. Of everything you are currently watering, the job, the project, the relationship dynamic, the habit, the side plan, what is actually growing? Not what should be growing. Not what you have already invested too much in to quit. What is actually, measurably, visibly bearing fruit? Taurus is famous for endurance, and that is your superpower, but its shadow is continuing to tend plants that stopped growing seasons ago, simply because you already dug the hole. The Seven of Pentacles is not telling you to abandon anything this week. It is telling you to look with clear eyes, because a decision is coming later this month, and the quality of that decision depends entirely on the honesty of this week's assessment. And there is a promise inside this card too. Some of what you see when you finally look will be further along than you thought. Growth has been happening underground. You have not been wasting your patience, you have been compounding it. Areas of life. In love, the Seven of Pentacles asks you to assess with tenderness, not with a scorecard. If you are in a relationship, look at what you have built together and notice which parts have quietly flourished while you were both busy. Name one of them out loud this week. Watered appreciation grows fast. If something has stalled, the retrograde favors revisiting it gently rather than forcing a verdict. If you are single, review your pattern honestly. Are you planting in soil that has never once produced? Venus in Leo says warmth and security are what you are actually hungry for, choose accordingly. In work and career, this is an audit week, and you are extremely good at audits. List your current commitments and ask of each one, is this still growing my skills, my income, or my peace? A project you assumed was underperforming may show real fruit when you actually measure it. Do not launch anything major before the new moon, gather your data first. In money, the card is almost literal. Review your investments, subscriptions, and slow-building savings. Something you planted months ago, a fund, a skill, a side income is quietly maturing. Give it another season. Cut one expense that has produced nothing but weight. In health, think long-term cultivation, not overnight results. Your body responds to steady rhythms, consistent sleep, consistent meals, consistent walks. If a routine has genuinely stopped serving you, this is the week to notice and adjust it, not to punish yourself for it. Your week, day by day. Let me walk you through the shape of these 7 days, because a good gardener works with the weather, not against it. Wednesday, July 8th, opens slow and slightly foggy, perfect for you. Use it to gather, pull up the accounts, the project lists, the loose threads, and simply look, without judging anything yet. Thursday the 9th sharpens the picture. A conversation or a piece of news shows you the true condition of one thing you have been tending, and it is more encouraging than you expected. Friday the 10th brings the week's test of patience. Someone else's delay or indecision lands in your lap around midday. Do not absorb it as your emergency. The Seven of Pentacles specifically forbids panic watering. Saturday the 11th is the garden day, literally if you can manage it, hands busy, mind quiet. Your best assessments happen while you are doing something physical and unhurried. Sunday the 12th is for the 3-column exercise. If you have not done it yet, the morning hours are clearest. Monday the 13th, resist the urge to act early. The retrograde rewards one more read-through of anything important before it is sent or signed. And Tuesday the 14th, the new moon in Cancer, is decision day, the one investment, the one release, spoken plainly. A Taurus decision made calmly on the right day outlasts everyone else's month of activity. 3 journal prompts to sit with during the slow moments. Which plant in my life have I been watering out of guilt rather than belief? What has quietly grown further than I have given myself credit for? And if I gave one commitment exactly one more season with a real deadline, what would the deadline be? Answer them slowly. The Seven of Pentacles has never once been impressed by a rush dancer, and neither, in your heart of hearts, have you. Your weekly guidance. Here is your concrete assignment, Taurus. Choose one evening before Tuesday, July 14th, put it in your calendar like a real appointment. Sit down with a notebook and draw 3 columns: thriving, growing slowly, and not growing. Place every major commitment in your life into one of those columns honestly, without negotiating with yourself. Then do exactly 2 things. First, pick one item from thriving and invest visibly in it this week: time, money, or gratitude. Second, pick one item from not growing and decide its fate at the new moon on Tuesday: one more season with a clear deadline, or a graceful release. That is it. One investment, one decision. The Seven of Pentacles does not ask you to work harder this week. It asks you to make sure your labor and your harvest are finally pointing at the same field. Watch for a small sign near the new moon, unexpected evidence that something you almost gave up on has roots after all. Closing. So that is your week, Taurus. The Seven of Pentacles, patience with a purpose, the pause that turns effort into wisdom. Your affirmation for this week, say it out loud if you can. My patience is an investment, and it is compounding. I tend what grows, I release what doesn't, and I trust the harvest that is already on its way. Carry that with you, especially on Tuesday when the new moon opens a new conversation in your life. If this reading resonated, tap the like button so more Taurus souls can find it. And tell me in the comments, what is one thing you have been tending for a long time that is finally starting to grow? I read every comment. Subscribe so you don't miss episode 11. It drops next Wednesday, and next week's card picks up exactly where this decision leaves off. Trust the timing. The stars have spoken.